Okay, go.
I think there's an element of I don't know the PC way to put this, but of our heroes are sort of mentally imbalanced in a way,
sure.
And they have the mental capacity of like a 2-year-old basically.
Definitely.
And but the funny thing is they have the mental capacity of a 2-year-old, but they have the anger of like a 6-year-old maybe, and they have like the deviance of like a 13, 14-year-old depending on where you are in your development. You know what I mean?
Right. You mean like the cunning or the?
I mean like the primarily not caring about what happens and not really thinking through actions until you're actually in the middle of some stuff.
Right.
And then seeing how things could have been done differently, but remorse is a 4-letter word. Literally, of course, but
it's true. And like in court, how many times have we been to court? Like 6?
Yeah.
And every time we end up tearing the place apart and either playing on the judge's sympathies unintentionally, or just getting thrown in the slammer and having to break out or something. Like there's never that point where they say, "Oh, I've taken this too far. I better act like a straight citizen here." It's always they're always wrapped up in their world in terms of, again, I want Breezy Pops and I want Cocoa Bombs and just I want to be able to do what I want and I'll beat up whoever is gonna mess. I'll flip this table around. Do you care?
Yeah, I don't even care either. And if Gas was able to get, the tater tots in the courtroom lunchroom are because of Gas, because he's the only one that orders it, and he's there enough that he actually, makes money on it. And unfortunately, he usually gets his face pushed into the plate of him by Andre.W or someone else in attendance. So it, defeats its purpose, but it is there at least.
Right. I don't remember doing that. Might have been right. That's another advantage too, is the manipulation of other.
Yeah, I think that was maybe like a lost sketch or something like that. I think for some reason it was put on the cutting room floor.
I might have deferred that to more of a Harley Frank kind of.
Yeah, I think. Well, they're basically all.
I can do that if you want me to.
Yeah. Well, I mean, all 3 shows are basically essentially the same, which is the shocking part of it. And I suppose that would matter if we had any type of viewers whatsoever. But
right.
Right now the audience seems to love it, and we give them what they want.
Not that we care.
Yeah. Either way, the script is very much useless at this point. I think.
Sure.
Because oftentimes Gas will put an entire script into his mouth.
Right.
Just to see if it will fit.
That's true.
And with the lack of actual content.
Right.
And anything of actually any kind of redeeming quality, he usually can fit the whole thing into his mouth.
Yeah, I think that's exactly what I'm lighting up on there. I think the script is like not even just a prop, but sometimes not even that. Sometimes it's not even existent at all in that world, or wall or whatever. It's not even there. And other times it's something that gets thrown and tossed and forgotten about, or cut to Phil, the stage manager, because we're yelling at him, and he's in despair over the fact that the script has been, completely reversed.
Yeah, the whole show has like pangs of just pulling some random guy off the street and saying, do stuff, and we're filming it. But the funny part about it is there's also like a prima donna element too. So it's like do they actually know that they are doing this as a show, or are they just doing it?
Society in any way.
Yeah, or not contributing at all, or are they doing it because they were promised, sugar cookies at the end of the thing, which, by the way, never actually showed up.
Right.
And that because we have a very incompetent caterer, but that's a whole different story in that case.
Right. It's almost like some kind of sick social experiment, almost, I think. Where, like you mentioned that, drag some guy off the street and put him on a stage or a show with an audience, have him be like, what's my motivation? And then you say, nothing, I don't care, just do it! And he gets kind of angry, and he's like, well, I guess I'll have sugar cookies. Things just kind of unravel. I think that very unraveling is actually the very premise of the show. That's where it happens.
It really is. I think that sometimes I wish that I could go and out onto the street and take some kid and like slap him right across his head.
Right.
On the show.
Right, if only.
If only. But then I think about it and I think that's not probably as funny as I thought it would be.
Right.
but I don't regret, actually doing it in the first place. Which it's very muddy.
Oh, definitely. And that's where we get sort of a secondary script as far as, does that really happen, or is it just on the show? And is there ever a time where the camera goes off and the show stops? It never stops. The show never really stops.
Yeah, I agree. The reality of it, and we've gone over this before, is the fact that the gas character, being an extension, was supposed to be some sort of relief, and unfortunately it's become the very thing that I probably should have done away with in the beginning. But so that just makes it an interesting element, I think, as we're going on with that.
Right. Instead of having character, as someone might say, as one might say, that character has sort of taken over. That character has taken over in terms of, is Gas doing this or am I doing it? For me, well, I'm just andre.W anyway, so it's even more confusing for me.
It gets very confusing because you don't know, what to, how to answer the phone. You don't know how to, pick up your mail, and you don't know how to do any of these type things. And I don't know. I think that maybe that
it's laughter of sadness you're hearing over here.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate that.
I'm resigned to it.
I understand. I am pretty upset right now about the whole thing, really.
Yeah.
But mostly because, I'm not sure how I got here in the first place, but that's okay.
It's a lot like an S&M role play where you have stay with me here, where you have a safe word, right? Like say if your safe word is like motorboat, and then, what's the ultimate turn on if you like S&M? What if you said the safe word and the person you're with kept going, and for you that was where you really crossed that barrier, like, oh man, they're even breaking the safe word. This is really something. Now I'm a bit uncomfortable having said that, and I'm really feeling like I should cut this short, call my therapist, and spend a few hours in quiet after saying that. But what I'm saying is, I could really use a Twinkie now too, but or a devil dog,
or a ho-ho.
A ho-ho was honestly the second thing. I should have gone ahead and said it.
Yeah, I know.
Lemon bars.
Totally came in on that one because I was like,
right. You were almost correcting me, and you were like, no way, weren't you thinking this is our frame of mind?
Well,
that's exactly my point, in fact.
And I don't know what any of those are. I think, because I also think about a Kreller, but I don't know if I already said.
Exactly. See, there is no safe word. It's always present. It's always pushing that.
Yeah. I understand totally, and I think that the first thing is that I, did pack leather chaps, so I'm throwing it out there.
Okay.
Throwing it out there.
Right.
We'll see how this goes.
The night is young.
It is, and anything could happen as they say. But I think that no, you're very right, and then I think that unfortunately bleeds over to realsies life, which is sort of why I have no friends, and mothers grasp their children as I pass by, even when I'm not saying anything, and so I suppose I should be concerned about that.
You're quite right when it comes to that difficulty getting your mail or answering the phone. Instead, your instinct is to get up, and what are you doing? You're at the show, someone's spilling coffee, and it's funny, they slip on it, the iPod comes in, he's drinking chocolate milk, he ends up in the desert, someone gets slapped, you're punching things, Katie Couric is there. Yeah, I could go on.
Yeah, I think Katie Couric was good, actually. She was pretty cool about stuff.
I didn't know she had the range, and we don't always depend on that, because we don't want to be a one-trick pony or anything, but sometimes you surprise yourself when another pony tries the trick, and it makes sparks fly for some reason.
I think that's when we were on the Tyra Banks show, I asked like a stage manager for her number. No, she couldn't stop.
Right.
Unfortunately, I got put in a headlock on that one.
Yes.
I did get my face pushed into the set.
Yes, we had a stunt double for like a week. We didn't end up using any of it, but yeah, you were out of commission.
Yeah, I was. I didn't feel bad about it though.